Number one on the ORCA status conference calendar, Jacques Adams.
Morning, on that particular case, Mr. Adams also has a 23 CR 004189J, a DUI case, in Judge Besson's courtroom, and I have requested that this case be transferred back to Judge Besson so they can both be handled together.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to hear back.
Okay, we'll transfer it back to the division.
23 CR 004189J.
Okay, position two, Devon Daniel.
Your Honor, that was Nalprost couple of days ago.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Dan.
Good morning, Judge.
Position three, Samantha Flowers.
Same announcements, Judge. It was Nalprost's, I think 2 or 3 days ago, Judge.
June 25th. Yes, sir.
Position four, Alexis Hill.
Your Honor, Ms. Hill is my client. I just sent her this morning the link. I had communicated with the prosecutor's office, Judge. She completed the class. She just needed a little bit more time to pay the remaining balance of $250. So if we can respect for her, if we can reset it to the next available calendar, Judge, she should be able to get it done.
Okay, we can put it on a status calendar on September 4th.
That'd be fine, Judge.
Okay,
And I still expect her to appear this morning. I did not excuse her, Judge.
okay.
So sorry about that, Judge.
Position five, Marcia Mays.
Your Honor, Ms. Mays, it appears I see her on Zoom. Your Honor, Ms. Mays was an old case of ours, but we've not had any contact with her since the SAP or SEA calendar. So if I can have Ms. Mays, if you can hear me, if you can put your phone number in the chat, and I'll give her a call, Judge, to provide the court with further announcement, Judge. But
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Mays. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Judge, I can hear you.
Okay. If you'll go ahead and put your number in the chat after the calendar call, Mr. Dad will give you a call, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Position six, Haley Mears.
Your Honor, Ms. Mears is also one of my cases that I inherited. I believe Ms. Githia had submitted a Nalpros order by email late May. I can,
June 18th, but no cross order was either.
but I don't believe it was ever signed, Judge.
Looking for that now.
Okay, I'll get it signed once I receive it.
Thank you, Judge.
Position seven, Javion Mitchell.
Your Honor, Mr. Mitchell, I believe Ms. Githia had requested it gets transferred because he has other cases in division. I also have requested that a conflict attorney gets appointed. Ms. Mitchell has had several cases. Some of them are still pending with, I think Mr. Murphy was the attorney or is the attorney on one of Mr. Mitchell's cases. So anyway, I believe the state is asking to transfer it back to division. I'm not sure which division. I can't remember. And
Judge Besson's courtroom.
Judge Besson, and I also requested, and I guess I'll follow up with division to make sure that he gets appointed the same attorney.
Okay, so we'll transfer that back to the division. Position eight, Ashley Owens.
Good morning, Judge. Ms. Owens is on the Zoom call, and that's my case. There's been a NALPROS order submitted in that case. I already emailed it to the court. If I need to forward it again, I will.
Look for that, try to get it.
Okay, once I get it signed, good morning, Ms. Helen. Once I receive it, I'll sign it.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Owens, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, your case is being dismissed. You're free to go this morning. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Position 9, Sarah Van. Ms.
Yes,
Van?
I'm here.
Yes, can you activate your camera for me?
Yes.
Good morning, Ms. Van. Let's see, do you have private counsel representing you in this matter?
No, I do not.
Have you made, an application for a public defender before?
No.
Would you like to do that this morning?
Yes.
Okay, if you'll go ahead and put your contact information, in the chat, for me, I will have someone reach out to you, okay?
Can you remind me of this case?
Yes, ma'am. You were charged in case 21 CR 002872G with battery substantial physical harm. The alleged offense date is June 4th of 2021. Okay?
Okay, and
All
do you have the prosecutor's information?
Yes, but I'm happy to let you speak with the prosecutor in the matter. If you would like
I
to
just
apply.
haven't had any information as far as what's going on in the case.
Okay, if you would like to apply for the public defender today, if you qualify, then they will be able to reach out to the solicitor for you and discuss the matter. So
Okay,
would you like to proceed that way?
that's fine.
Okay,
Yes.
so I see that you've placed your information into the chat. Someone will be with you as soon as we complete the calendar call, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see, we also have a number of pleas. Timothy Pittman. I have the plea paperwork for. Good morning, Mr. Murphy.
Good morning, Judge.
And is Mr. Pittman going to be in person with us or on the Zoom call?
I believe he'll be on Zoom. I gave him the code a couple days ago.
Okay. The other is Troy Smith of yours.
Yes.
Is Mr. Smith with us? Is that good
Yes,
morning?
sir.
Good morning, Mr. Smith. Let me finish calling the calendar. We'll get that plea taken. We also have Lamar Jackson scheduled for a plea this morning. Is Mr. Jackson with us? I believe that's Mr. Partridge's client. I'll hold for his announcement. And also Mr. Partridge's client, Michael Lockhart. Is Mr. Lockhart with us? Okay, I'll hold for Mr. Partridge's announcements on those two. That completes the calendar. Is anyone else on the line whose name I didn't call? Okay, Mr. Haddad, Ms. Helen, if you'll go ahead and speak with your clients, Mr. Murphy. Since Mr. Smith is with us, I'll go ahead and take this plea if you all are ready. Who's going to present for the state?
I am your honor.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Smith, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, the battery family violence is going to be amended to a simple battery family violence, and it's 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served 20 days. The balance probated to complete 6 anger management classes, to have no further violent contact with David Gregg, and balance may be suspended upon completion of the conditions. Does the defense agree to the facts, venue, and ID? And I apologize, I didn't realize the mic wasn't on. Could you hear me, Mr. Murphy?
I think he's having some connection problems. Are you with us, Mr. Murphy? We'll wait for him to get back.
Your Honor,
Yes, you hear, you with me, Mr.
I'm out
Murphy?
here. I was in the deck. I was having some problems, but that was our understanding of the recommendation. And I went over the forms in person with Mr. Smith. And Judge, I'd asked that if the court would consider waiving the first 3 months of probation, given that he has to return to the job market.
No objection.
Okay. Anything further before I take the plea? If not, Mr. Smith, it's my understanding in case 21 CR 004415E, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Um, I'll accept the plea as negotiated. I will waive 3 months of the probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. When you complete the terms of the probation, it will terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation anymore. If you can put your email in the chat for me, I will have Ms. Smith, the litigation manager, send you where where you need to report for probation. I ask that you report within the next 2 weeks or so, okay?
What would um do I have to appear in person?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we'll give you where you need to go,
Yes, sir.
okay? So go ahead. Once you put your email information in the chat, you're free to go this morning unless you have any additional questions for me.
That's about it, I think.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, if you want to call your client to see if he's going to be on with us or when he's going to be on with us, that's Timothy Pittman.
Yes, Judge, and I'll be at the courthouse in about 3 minutes. Just
Okay.
on the street, and I'll raise him on the phone. Thank
All
you,
right.
Judge. I'll
Thank you.
jump off for a moment. Thank you.
And Judge, I've emailed the court the null pros.
Which case was that?
That's for Ms. Owens, position 8, Judge.
Okay.
And could I be excused once the court receives that null pros? I don't have any other cases on the calendar.
Yes, and I know that there are 2 people, one who wants to qualify on the line. Is Mr. Dad going to handle both people that are on?
Sure, I can text him and ask him.
Okay. Have you all heard from Mr. Partridge since we scheduled his pleas for today?
Emailed this morning, he
Oh.
emailed this morning and said that he had court in Douglas County, I believe, and it was delaying him, but he was on his way.
Okay, what about his client? Were they,
Oh, with
Did he-
regard to his client, no, I have not heard that with regards to them.
okay, right, okay, thank you.
And I apologize, Judge. Who was the second person who needed to be qualified? I already have position 9.
Right, no, I believe it was just position 9. The other one was one of his clients already.
I think Mr. Haddad is gonna handle that one.
Okay.
I think he's already speaking to her.
And let's see, I have the Owens Null Press. I will. You need a copy of this?
No,
Have-
Judge.
Okay. Have a good holiday. Be
Thank you,
safe.
Judge. You as well. And Judge, would you be the presiding judge next week?
No. You mean for the jury trial calendars?
Yes, Judge.
No, I've got the August. So y'all have a good time next week.
Going to amend that as well. Can't remember at this point, they filed down that. I mean, it could be paperwork, but. it can be an opportunity.
And I didn't sign that last one.
Your Honor, is the court available for announcement?
I am. Go ahead.
Sorry, Judge, I'm trying to adjust my volume here. Your Honor, I spoke to Ms. Mays and I think she had to hang up to answer the call, but I asked her to hop back on. I'm gonna ask if we can reset it to the 4th of September, if at all. I quickly reviewed the discovery, but I wanted to follow up with Ms. Gathia as far as any body cams and more importantly, the bloods and urine tests. There's reference to that. There's a possibility we may be able to resolve it within ORCA, Judge, which is why I'm asking for a reset instead of just sending it back to division.
Okay, I can place it on that September 4th status calendar if you like.
That works, Judge, and I'm not sure. I'll text Ms. Helen to see if Ms. Vaughn has been contacted or not, Judge.
Okay, I don't think she,
I'm waiting for contact. I was told to wait until after the hearing.
right, no, I don't think she's been contacted, Mr. Dad.
All right, I'll give Ms. Vaughn a call right now.
Okay, thank you. So Ms. Vaughn, expect Mr. Dad's call momentarily, okay?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Mays, are you there? Can you hear me, Ms. Mays?
Miss Mez, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me, Ms. Mays?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
It's a little low. I don't know if it's mine
Say it
or.
again.
Oh, okay, okay. I got it.
Okay, Ms. Mays, your case has been reset until September 4th, at 9 a.m. Okay, so Mr. Dad will be in touch with you prior to that time.
All right, thank you.
You want the bench warrant set aside as a state?
Has it not already been? Okay, I'll discuss that with Mr. Dad when he comes back. Just remind me. All right, you're free to go this morning, Ms. Mays. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Yes, active bench warrant still case.
Yes, why don't you just go ahead and do that and I will inform Mr. Dad. It will be set aside just to let him know. Mr. Glanville, I'm looking for a Timothy Pittman to join us in a little while, so would you let me know when you've let him in?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'm not sure who this Samsung is, but
Is Timothy Pittman on the line with us? Who's on the Samsung?
Janetta Lester.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Your last name is?
Lester with the LU.
And why are you on with me, Miss Luster? I don't seem to have you on any of my calendars this morning.
I had got alert that I had court this morning. So is that a misunderstanding?
Okay. And do you know what, do you have an attorney?
I have a public defender.
Okay. Do you have a case number?
No, I could just get in touch with her. I'm just
Okay.
going by my alert that I received to my phone.
Okay. I don't have you on either one of my calendars this morning, Miss Luster. So I hope that you're not in supposed to be in another courtroom. Okay.
No.
Oh,
Thank you. Have a good one.
okay. Have a good day, ma'am.
All right.
And who is on the Galaxy A02?
Timothy Pittman.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Pittman. Can you activate your camera for me?
Do what? Activate it?
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. Hit the person. The name, Timothy Pittman. Start my video. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can see you. Good morning, Mr. Pittman.
Good morning, sir. Your Honor.
Let's see.
I'm
Can
with
you
Dennis
ra-
Murphy.
Yes, Mr. Murphy's in court with me, Mr. Pittman. And we're ready to go on your case. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put your hand down. Thank you. Let's get the air.
Your Honor, for the count one pandering, it is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance suspended, and to have no contact with Angela Dalton. The remaining charges, which is public indecency, failure to have license on person, and illegal stop, standing, and parking where prohibited, will be dismissed. Does the defense stipulate to the facts, venue, and ID?
We do, and Mr. Pittman will be submitting or tendering a nolo plea this morning.
Okay, so it's NOLO to pandering.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Judge, I went over the forms with my client in person at his place of employment, I believe 2 days ago.
Okay.
So he's aware of the rights he's giving up today.
Mr. Pittman, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 004843E, you wish to plead NOLO to pandering, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading NOLO to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead NOLO?
No, sir.
I'll accept the NOLO plea, Mr. Pittman. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a good
Thank you,
day, Your
Judge.
All right. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Honor. Thank you. Have a happy 4th of July.
You do the same. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Mr.
Be safe.
Thank you, counsel. Yes, Judge, I'd gotten CC'd on Javion Mitchell. I had one of his several cases, so we'll wait to see what happens when it gets back there.
Okay. All right. Have a good holiday.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, who's speaking?
I was trying to hang, I was trying to hang the phone up.
Oh, okay.
Just
All
keep
right.
hitting leave. His email? Oh, he's not probate.
Never mind.
Yeah, because I have one of his cases, I believe they were all coming back. Yeah, I got CC'd on it.
Your Honor, may I make an announcement?
Yes, Mr. Dad.
Your Honor,
My name changed for some reason. I'm sorry.
on Ms. Vaughn, Judge, she does qualify for the Office of the Public Defender's Office. I would request if we can reset it for the 4th, so I can file my motions, get the discovery, and we potentially maybe have a resolution on the 4th. I always think it's worth one shot before we send it back to division, so.
Okay, that's fine with me, Mr. Dad. Let's see. We'll reset for the status calendar on September 4th.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Judge. And can
And,
we excused?
yes, you have everything you need from her this morning?
I do. I have a phone number, good phone number and her email address, and we're good to go.
Okay, very good. Ms. Van, I'll see you back on September 4th. You have a safe holiday. You're free to go this morning.
And Your Honor, I think that's all I have.
Okay.
So I will see you sometime. Have a good holiday, Judge.
You too. Be safe. Thank
All
you.
right, bye-bye.
Thank you. I'll get you linked up with that. Okay.
Good morning again, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning,
Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
sir.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, we can place your hand down.
Your Honor, this is position number 30 on your June 11th trial calendar, State versus Lamar Jackson. We've come to a negotiated plea resolution. State is recommending on count one, the state will amend that to a reckless driving charge. And we're recommending a sentence of 12 months to serve 24 hours, credit for time served of 1 day with the balance on probation. For Mr. Jackson to pay a $500 fine, perform 40 hours of community service, risk reduction, and alcohol and drug evaluation, and any treatment deemed necessary, as well as a victim impact panel. With regard to the alcohol and drug evaluation and treatment, that was completed, and a copy of that evaluation was provided by defense counsel to me. And it appears that there was an assessment that indicated there was a mild dependency on alcohol, and treatment was recommended that would focus on counseling and intensive therapy. Specifically, it was recommended that Mr. Jackson complete substance education for addiction and alcohol dependency, grief counseling treatment sessions 1 to 2 times weekly, as well as tailored interventions that would address some underlying issues with his trauma history and his legal issues. With respect to count 2, on the fleeing and attempting to elude, the recommended sentence is 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served of 1 day with the balance on probation. That 10 days, of course, Your Honor, is statutory. And then on probation to pay a $500 fine. That count is to run consecutive to count 1 for a total of 24 months. Counsel, do you stipulate to a fact that this is venue and identification for purposes of the plea?
Yes, for the purposes of the plea, we do.
Nothing further from the state judge.
Yes, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. Jackson is before the court to resolve this case and enter this plea this morning. This is a case that we've wanted to resolve for some time and have been working very hard and diligent towards doing so. And I'm glad that we're able to resolve it short of trial. Judge, this is a situation where if we go back in time, Mr. Jackson had just lost his mother. And unfortunately, going through the process of grieving and mourning, Mr. Jackson started to drink. In transparency to the court, he picked up this DUI as it relates to that. Immediately after we spoke, we got him some counseling, and he was proactive with getting back on the right track. So this is something that's been a long time coming, Your Honor, as it relates to his sobriety and just handling grief a little bit differently as it relates to that. But it was a very tragic loss at the time. Since then, Judge, Mr. Jackson has gone on to continue to work and build up his career. He works for Atlanta Gas and Light. He also works for Delta Airlines as well, Judge, part-time. So this young man is very busy nonetheless, and it's just very driven and focused on maintaining his sobriety and staying out of the court moving forward with any other issues or any other cases or arrests or anything. Judge, to further point towards that, Mr. Jackson had 2 arrests around the same time for essentially the same thing. The other case had been dismissed or adjudicated. I'm sorry. He'd been exonerated from that case in Clayton County, Judge, of any wrongdoing. And in this case, Judge, like I said, he's been proactive with getting counseling and just doing everything that he needs to do to maintain his sobriety and stay on the right track. As it relates to probation and any of the conditions that have been offered by the state, he's already been started to be proactive as it relates to that as well with community service and just with trying to put this thing behind him, Your Honor. Judge, as it relates to confinement, Mr. Jackson is asking the court if the court would allow him to do a form of house arrest because he does have his jobs at Delta as well as Atlanta Gas and Light. He does work 7 days a week. So we're asking that he at least be allowed to go to work and leave the house for emergency purposes. But nonetheless, Judge, if he goes into confinement, he's going to lose the job, one job or both, depending on how that works out for him. He does not have leave to go ahead and just knock out the time at this point, and that's been the point of our discussion with the prosecutor over the last few weeks as well, quite frankly, Your Honor. It's just how can we resolve this case potentially with Mr. Jackson keeping both of his jobs so that he's not in a position where he's financially challenged by way of going into custody and losing a job. In addition to that, Your Honor, he does drive for Atlanta Gas and Light. So he does have his CDL. So we would be asking at least for the reckless count that he be allowed, or if the court would accept for both counts, but with the exception, but if the court would allow at least for the one count of reckless, if not both, that the court accepts the plea under NOLO or as a NOLO plea. Mr. Jackson is accepting of the conditions as it relates to probation. Again, with the exception of going into custody, Judge, and doing house arrest as it relates to this particular resolution. The last thing that I'll say, Judge, as it relates to Mr. Jackson, with being proactive, is asking the court if the court would consider suspending the second 12 months of his sentence or placing him on some sort of non-report probation so long as he completes all of his conditions as it relates to both cases. I think the way that the plea is structured as well, Judge, the confinement time would start 12 months from today to, I guess, reflect count 2 as it relates to this particular case and plea. We're asking if at all possible that he be allowed to do the home confinement on the front end and that it count later for that second, Judge, to prevent any issues moving forward. Also with the consecutive recommendation made by the state judge, just having that expanded can sometimes be hard to keep up with. We don't know where we will be 12 months from today. So we just don't want to run into any issues where Mr. Jackson is setting himself up for failure. So we'd ask the court to accept the plea accordingly, Judge.
Okay, may I get the history? Do you have the history, Ms. Waldrop?
Yes, Judge. I show one prior arrest for Mr. Jackson. That arrest was in 2020 for DUI out of Clayton County. Defense counsel was correct. That did not result in a conviction. In fact, he was acquitted at trial, and that was in March, I believe, of this year.
Correct.
So that's the most recent updated GCIC that was run in May. So nothing subsequent. The state did not object to the house arrest. Defense counsel did provide me with a letter from his employer showing that he is gainfully employed and that he works. But we do object to a suspension of the probation after 12 months. We would ask that it be a 24-month sentence total.
Do you have an objection to it going non-reporting once he's completed the first year?
Your Honor, I will defer to the court on non-reporting, but I do want to put my objection to suspension on the record.
Okay. And as far as the house arrest, I would consider it, but I would want him to have an ankle monitor to make sure that when he is not I'll allow him to go to work, go to church if he goes to church. Other than that, he is to remain with in his home, and I guess that will need for that to be monitored by probation. So any objection to the ankle monitor?
None from the state.
And that's going to be something that he's going to have to.
Or does that create an issue for you?
Is it consecutive or just weekly?
Just straight through.
Okay. That's fine.
Judge, Mr. Jackson has no objection to the monitoring, and we did speak about that a little bit as well, Your Honor. As it relates to how are we accountable on house arrest? And that is the logical step as it relates to that, Judge. So he has no objection as it relates to that. The question, however, we have talked with the state about potential weekend jail. So he just wanted to make sure that this would be 10 days consecutive as it relates to the house arrest versus that of weekends, with regard to that, which I believe would sort of alter that a little bit with having to go back and forth to have an ankle monitor applied for weekends. I don't know if that would make sense for the purposes of this plea. So,
I mean, I would think that it would be just straight 10
Yeah,
days instead of weekends.
Right, I think when we were discussing him turning himself in,
right.
the state had agreed to weekends.
Yeah, no,
Instead of doing house arrest, I think it's the 10 days is just straight through.
yeah, just for Mr. Jackson's understanding, I'm totally in the clear as it relates to that. Just want him to fully understand what that looks like for him.
Right, and to understand that he's responsible for the cost of the ankle monitor. And I'm not even sure, do we know where he gets the ankle monitor?
Probation, I believe.
We'll provide him with the ankle monitor.
Point him in that direction.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's my understanding as well,
Okay.
that he can
Um,
get that information from probation.
Okay, so ankle monitor, 10 days, house arrest, 2 years. The second year, I would have it go non-reporting as long as he's completed everything it needs to complete as far as with the alcohol and drug treatment. If the treatment's still going on, then necessarily he's still gonna have to be on probation. So as
Understood.
long as he completes everything and gets done with the treatment, then I'll have it go to a non-reporting status.
Yes, sir.
Anything else that we need to address?
I believe that is it, Your Honor. As I've told the court, Mr. Jackson has been proactive with those things, and he's already started the treatment that was recommended. So hopefully he will be done with that relatively soon, Judge, and be able to provide all that information to probation. But
And I think also defense was going to provide a copy of Mr. Jackson's schedule, I think, to probation.
Yes, I'm sorry.
For the court, at least.
Okay.
I'll put it on record, Your Honor. I don't have anything written out, and I'll have Mr. Jackson follow up with probation as it relates to the same. But his Atlanta Gas Light schedule, Judge, for the record, is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And then on Wednesday through Tuesday, I apologize, in the evenings, he's working at Delta from 5 to 10 p.m., Judge. So again, very busy, at least a good chunk of the week, for sure, for Mr. Jackson.
Okay. All right, anything further before I take the plea?
No,
right.
no, Your Honor. Nothing further from the defense, Judge.
And just so that he knows, and I'm sure that you're informed him that with the 10 days, he's already done a day. He gets 2 for 1 at the jail. So it would really only be 4 days that he would actually be in custody, given that they give 2 for 1. So and he'd rather pay for the ankle monitor and do that instead of serving the 4 days.
Yes, sir. We spoke about that. I know that with his schedule and just everything he has going on, he just didn't want to risk it, John. So
I understand.
And Your Honor, if I may, and I don't mean to be petty, but we're talking about house arrest. So he's not going to Fulton County Jail. I would object to him getting 2 for 1 on house arrest. If he was
Oh,
going
no, he's not getting.
weekends, he wouldn't get 2 for 1 either.
Oh, no, he's not getting 2 for 1 in house arrest. Just, he's gonna do the whole 10 days, but that would be, my sentence. Yeah, I agree with you, Ms. Walter. Okay, anything further before I take the plea?
nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Jackson, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 001067F. So And before I do that, we did not address the NOLOs.
Your Honor, I didn't recall discussing that. I mean, he's eligible for NOLO. I'll defer to the court as to whether they want to accept it, but.
Okay.
I don't recall discussing that.
Given his clean record up to this point and what you've told me, I will allow him to plead NOLO to both the charges.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And that's because you've been proactive and I'm sorry for your loss, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
I do appreciate you being proactive as far as the alcohol treatment goes. You have a clean record. So that's the reason that I will accept the NOLO pleas from you.
Thank you.
Okay. It's my understanding that in case 22 CR 001067F, you wish to plead NOLO to reckless driving and fleeing and attempting to elude. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading NOLO to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead NOLO?
No, sir.
I'll accept the NOLO pleas. Mr. Jackson, I think that we've already discussed the terms. I've already stated that that you will be on probation for the entire 2 years, but if you complete the terms within the first year, I will have it go to a non-reporting status. After, if you have not completed it by the end of the first year, you will still have to report until you complete all the terms, but I'll have it go non-reporting as soon as after the second year you complete the terms. If we have not given you where you need to report to probation, we'll do that. We'll give that to you this morning. I ask that you report within the next, as soon as possible, so that you can go ahead and get the ankle monitor and get that behind you.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions this morning?
That would be it. Yeah, that should be it. When you give me the information, it'll have the time that probation is open and everything.
The form will tell you where you need to report to probation. And then once you report, you'll get the ankle monitor and you can give any information that you already have as far as what you've already done.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right.
you. And Judge, just as an update, you're good. Oh, just wait. Okay, I got you. As an update for Mr. Lockhart, I did reach out to him with regard to the Zoom option. As of now, that's why I've been checking my phone throughout, Judge. I have not received a response from him. So I do understand the court's position as it relates to the issuance of a bid.
Okay, and let me just go ahead and sound for him since we are on the Zoom. It is now 10:41. Court began at 9 o'clock. Is Michael Lockhart on the call with me? Okay, doesn't appear that he is. We discussed his case. We've given him an opportunity to be here today from a previous setting of the case. Does not appear that he's here. A bench warrant will be issued and the case will be returned to the division judge.
Thank you.
All right. If nothing further, have a good holiday weekend.
You as well, Judge. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Y'all have a great one.
Okay, I think that completes the calendars for today. Is there a need to go over them? Y'all need to go over the calendars?
No.
Okay, all right. There was seemingly small.